Hi YouTube, and this is JTrain997, and I'm back this time with my review of the brand new X-Men Legends Amazon exclusive 3-pack with Quicksilver, Magneto, and Scarlet Witch. Now, I thought these guys weren't coming until July, but about Saturday my phone dings. It's like, hey, there's a package from Amazon on its way. This was the only thing I had ordered. So lo and behold, it showed up a lot earlier than I was expecting. Now, I will say, I mainly bought this for Magneto. I didn't really want another Scarlet Witch. Quicksilver, I was indifferent on him. I do notice there's some paint scuffs on Quicksilver's chest already. That's unfortunate, but on the back of the package here, the little read-up says, Magneto forms the Brotherhood of Mutants to combat anti-mutant sentiment, but the organization turns into a family matter when he recruits his twin superpower children, Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch, to help him carry out his terrorizing agenda. Over here you've got a lot of random pictures of the comics. Surprisingly, a lot of it's Quicksilver in his green outfit. You think they'd focus more on the blue, but oh well. That being said, a very nice looking set here in the packaging. Let's open them up. And we'll start off the review with Quicksilver here. Now, I've got a base from NECA over here, one of their little 10-pack for $10 bases. And I've got to say, with it, I've really got him in a really nice running pose here. So I'm digging that. Let's get him back at his normal stance real quick. Quicksilver, as I've already mentioned, does have some issues with paint on his chest, which we'll zoom in right here and get a look at. So you can see there's some scuffing all throughout the white stripe, and the light's kind of covering it up, but even on the belt there's some white spillover. So that's unfortunate. You know, this came from Amazon. I couldn't pick mine out in the store. So, not too thrilled about that. But with the pose I had him in, you can't really tell. Now, the only thing Quicksilver comes with is a set of alternate open palm running hands. You can see I've already swapped one out. It's nice that they gave us the option. I don't have the last Toy Biz one that came out way back when, I think in the Brood Wave? Or was it the Danger Wave? I don't even remember. But as far as his articulation, Quicksilver has what's become the norm for the Marvel Legends series, up and down at the neck, full 360. His arms are on a butterfly joint, which allow for some really nice running poses. Of course, bends and spins at the elbow, does a full 360 right there at the arm as well. Double jointed arms, and of course bends and spins at the wrist. Has a very nice ab crunch, goes all the way back, all the way forward. Full 360 at the waist. Legs go forward to about here. Don't go back too much. Out. Spin at the quadricep. Double jointed knee. And ankle joint with ankle pivot. So, that's a lot of really nice articulation. Again, I do wish that they had, actually gotten the paint a little better. But, at the end of the day, I mainly bought this for Magneto and I didn't have the older Toy Biz Quicksilver. So this guy's going to fill a hole in my X-Men collection. And that being said, let's move on to the next figure. And next up we have Scarlet Witch out of the packaging. Now, out of all the three I was getting, I was probably least excited for this Scarlet Witch. I don't know, we just got one in the Build-A-Figure Odin Wave, and I don't know, something about her I was just like, this is probably going to go on eBay when I get it. But I don't know, this figure is a lot nicer in hand than she seemed to be online. The design on her especially, you can see those little energy wisp accessories they gave her, but especially in the face, she very much reminds me of Alex Ross artwork. So that's very nice. Pulling her back out here. Remove the energy wisp for a second. You can see they just snap onto the hand. They're a different styling of energy effect than the last Scarlet Witch came with. Now, as far as his articulation, her head is pretty much frozen. Between the cape and this enormous hair, this is what her head can do. So that's unfortunate. Her arms, a little bit hindered by the cape and hair, but if you work around it, you can get a full 360 out of it. Single jointed elbows and spin with a hinged wrist. She has a little bit of abdomen articulation, turns left and right. You can force it to do a full 360, but it's very tight. Back to about there, forward to about there. Legs go forward. Back to about there. Out. Spin at the quadricep. Double jointed knee. And have an ankle joint with a pivot. So, The articulation on her is a teensy bit lacking compared to what we're used to getting, but at the same time, I am definitely digging her design more so than I thought I would. That being said, let's actually grab the Build-A-Figure Odin Wave Scarlet Witch here. You can see them both side by side. I think I've got her kind of at a slouch. Let's get her full height because it's making it look like she's a bit taller. Actually, this Scarlet Witch is a bit taller, it would seem. That's surprising. I thought they were the exact same mold. But as you can see here, they're both very good Scarlet Witches in their own right. This one is much more kind of classic comics to me, and they're both clever. And this one again is much more kind of a modern, not a redesign, but kind of a more artistic approach to this costume. And while I originally intended to sell one of these, I think I'm going to end up keeping them both because they definitely are both a very nice take on this character. So that being said, let's move on to Magneto. And here we finally have Magneto out of the packaging. Now, I have wanted a classic Magneto since pretty much that Build-A-Figure Jubilee wave came out that was exclusive to Toys R Us. I wanted a classic Magneto for longer than that, but that was just the first one I got a chance at. This is a great looking figure. I do like how his cape kind of flares out and it keeps him up. A little bit of back support, you can see there, he's just kind of leaning on it. This pose I've got him in. So, where he actually came with 2 energy effects, and I hate these energy effects. It's not Magneto's fault, it's just a design preference. I've never liked them. I mean, they come with just, it seems like they throw these in when they can't think of a good effect to give a figure, which is silly for Magneto because he's already gotten recent effects that are very nice. But these have come with Magneto, Shocker in the Spider-Man Legends wave, Havoc in the X-Men Legends wave. You know, I'm not going to display them with them. You know, nice they colored them purple, but I just do not like the design of them. So, I would have much preferred the little purple energy effects the Apocalypse Magneto got. I'll stand him up here. The cape makes him a teensy bit back heavy. So, as much as the cape helps him in the poses where he's kind of crouched down, it's not helping him at all standing. Let's see here. And that's good enough. So, Magneto also comes with 2 pairs of closed fists, as you can see here, and an alternate head, which if we zoom in here, you can see is kind of his more whited out pupils, and you would be able to see a snarl was the helmet not closed in so much. And you've kind of got to open it up here and you see that nasty little snarl head. The helmets are non-removable. If you have the X-Men Legends Build-A-Figure Apocalypse Magneto, you've got the unmasked Magneto head that you can swap off, but I just don't like how much the helmet actually closes. You gotta keep prying it open. After a while it will stay, but you know, it's just kind of an odd choice. This Magneto, obviously in his classic colors, a lot of really nice kind of chrome purple, the red throughout. You know, not too much to say about the outfit. It's his classic look, so it's one of those if it ain't broke, don't fix it things. Although his cape is definitely throwing him off here. So that's unfortunate. But as far as his articulation, he does up and down at the head as well as a full 360. You got to kind of work with the cape here, as you can see. Actually, it just pops right off. That's nice. I thought it would give me some trouble, but real easy there. Magneto, of course, goes out at the arm and does a full 360. Spins at the bicep. Double jointed elbow. Spins and bends at the wrist. His abdomen articulation, as you can see here, he crouches down to about here. Well, bends forward. Goes back to about here. Legs go forward. Don't really go back. Out to about here. Spin at the quadricep. Double jointed knee. Have an ankle joint with, got a pivot in there. So that's very nice. So this was the main guy I bought this set for. You know, he fulfills my desire to have a classic Magneto in my collection. I do wish they maybe would have mixed up his accessories a bit more. But that being said, let's go on to a final thoughts on the entire package here. Actually, guys, before we go on to a final thoughts on the set, I went ahead and grabbed the X-Men Apocalypse Build-A-Figure Wave Magneto figure, which is his more modern styling, as you can see here. I did talk about his energy effects, but I've actually removed them and put them on another figure, so I don't have those for comparison. But as you can see here, while I'm not a big fan of Magneto's modern costuming, I do like how they did his effects and his cape that allowed him a lot of freedom. This guy did come with an alternate unmasked head, which was nice. But at the end of the day, when I got him, he was just okay. He wasn't my Magneto. You know, this is the guy I grew up watching on the cartoon, reading in the comics, spending countless quarters trying to get to in the X-Men arcade game. So this is the version I definitely prefer. And that being said, we'll finally move on to a final thoughts on the 3-pack. So right now you can pick these guys up on Amazon.com. I'll actually go ahead and link it down in the description box. You can go straight there and order yours. This is a $60 set. Now that's actually surprisingly reasonable. 20 bucks a Marvel Legends figure. That's exactly what they're running at stores. They could have easily marked this up another 10 bucks and I wouldn't have been surprised. Not that I would have been thrilled about it. All these figures are pretty great. None of them really amaze me, but I didn't expect that going in. I expected to get Magneto and be like, I'll throw these two off to the side. But I really dig the look of Scarlet Witch, despite her hindered articulation. You know, some sloppy paint on Quicksilver. I still love that you can get him in these great running poses, and he's a quintessential X-Men. I'm glad to have filled out my collection finally. And the paint and sculpt on Magneto is just phenomenal, so definitely the reason I got this, and he's a really, really fantastic looking figure. They all are. And I do recommend picking up this set if you're an X-Men fan. And that being said, this is JTrain997, and I'll see you soon, YouTube.